Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So, we will start our today's lecture. We were already started the discussion about a string or character array in our last class. I have completed some basic discussion about string. Then I have shown how we can read and write a character array and how we can access the different elements of the character array in the form of string as well. Okay, the difference between string and character array I have already shown to you, and I have shown a couple of important programs where uh, we can implement those programs with the help of character array or string without using any system defined function. Okay, without using any system defined function. This is a very important line that I have used here. So today I am going to continue with the discussion of the string. Today I am going to show you what are the various kind of system defined functions are available in C programming, which are applied on various kind of strings to perform different kind of operation on string, right? So if you remember, let me share my screen. I think the screen is visible to you. So if you remember, in the last class I already showed how we can calculate the length of a string. That means how many characters or alphabet a particular given input string is holding, that it will return. Okay, then I have shown the program of how we can perform the copy of two strings. That means you are copying one string into another string. Okay, how we can perform character by character copying, we can perform that I have shown in the last class program. Okay, so today I want to show you one more program, that how we can perform the reverse of a string. Okay, how we can perform the reverse of a string. So as all of you know, that reverse of a string we can perform, and we will apply this reverse concept of a string to find out the palindrome. That means when we are going to check whether a string is a palindrome or not, that in that case we will actually apply the reverse concept or reversal concept of a string. Okay, we have already learned how we can reverse the number. The similar concept we will use here to do a reversal of a string. Very similar concept. So here, check out this program. I have taken one. I have declared one string str1. Here we will declare only one string. That second line you can consider as a command line. So I have declared one string, or in terms of character array, str1. Okay, whose maximum size is 20 bytes. Then I have taken the size at runtime of the string which you want to input, the size of the string at the runtime. Then I have run a for loop that run from 0 to n minus 1, and I actually use the %c scanf function using the %c and read individual characters or individual alphabet that you are going to store from through terminal into a string str1. Okay, so this is the reading operation of the string has been completed in such a way, and now we are trying to do the reversing operation. Okay, how we can perform the reversal. The similar, very similar concept we are using to perform a string reversal or a character array reversal. The similar operation that we have applied in case of number reversal. If you remember how we have reversed the number, we will just change the for loop. That means instead of increasing, we are using a decrement for loop to reverse the number, because we are starting to access the elements instead of zeroth location. We will start to access the element from the last location. What is the last location? According to the reading criteria, the last location will be n minus 1. It is less than n means what? N minus 1. So that's why we have started reading from n minus 1 at the time of reversal, right? And it will repeat it until it will reach 0. That's why greater than or equal to 0 has been written, because we have to include the 0th element. Okay, so that's why 0 must be written here, right? And then we will perform I minus minus. That means the decrement operation. Okay, because each and every time it will be decremented. So when it will print at the first time, this str1 of I will print n minus 1. So the first will be the n minus 1th element, it will print at the output screen. Then the loop will repeat again and decrement it by 1. So n minus 1 is decremented by 1 means n minus 1 minus 1, that means n minus 2. So n minus 2 means the second last element of the character array. So in the next time, it will print the second last element. That means str1 of n minus 2 into the output screen. So in this way, it will be decremented into n minus 3, then n minus 4, then n minus 5, and in such a way, it will reach in the 0th location. Okay, when the value of n is 0, because here you will provide the value of n. Okay, so accordingly, it will reach to a value of 0, right? So this is the very simple way of doing a reversal of a string or a character array without using any system defined function. This is a punchline, very important, without using any system defined function. So let me run this code. So here it will demand the size of the string that you want to give input. Now here you will have to write the string. Suppose I have given my name, and the reversal of the string has been done in such a way. Understood? Is it clear to everyone how we can perform the reversal? Is it clear to everyone, right? Hello? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, very good. So now let me give me a chance to apply some kind of system defined string functions whose definition has been already given into a special kind of header file. What is that header file? The header file which I have already written in front of you. Hash include string.h. This is the header file that I am using first time. So till now, whatever operation I have used, I have shown you in that to perform all those operations into a string or onto a character array, you don't require to use this header file because we didn't use any system defined function to perform those operations. Okay, only stdio.h will be enough to perform those operations. Remember, this gets function, puts function, getchar, putchar, printf, scanf, all kinds of input output function are part of this header file. Okay, but now I want to do the similar kind of operation by using some system defined string functions. What are those system defined string functions? Let's check it out. These are the system defined string function which is actually defined into a string.h header file. Okay, these are some important function has been shown. Apart from this, there are several other function exist. Okay, lots of functions, system defined string functions that exist. Okay, you can pick any book, you will find the definition of all the system defined function, or you can go through the internet, you can get all the system defined function and this definition. But these are the most widely used system defined function which I have shown in front of you, right? The first one is string length. We have already performed the calculation of a length of a string in the last class. I have already shown the program. The same thing you can do by only using the string length function, whose job is to return the number of bytes that your given input string holds. Okay, so calculate the length of a string. What is the job of string length function? To calculate the length of a string. And most importantly, the definition or you can say the job responsibility of this string length function has been defined into the string.h header file. So when the compiler will compile or pre-process this header file, it will automatically get all the job responsibility of all these system defined functions. So you just use it and you will get the output. Let's use it. So suppose I have taken the string in such a way. Okay, let's just forget about the character array. I would like to take the string by using string functions. Okay, gets str. Very good. Now I want to calculate the length of a string. Printf the length of the given string is. Okay. So here we will use strlen function. The function name should be as it is, which it has been defined into the string.h header file. Your function name should be similar with that one. Okay, and we will pass the string. Which string we will pass? str1, which we have already read from the output. Okay, from the output. So first we want to. We don't need to get a print. Okay, and here we can do this by printing this function directly. You can store it into an integer variable and then print that integer variable within printf. That is also possible, or you can directly do this. Okay, so right now you are mature enough, so that's why I have directly call this system defined function string length within the printf function. And obviously I have to give %d. Why? Because it will return the number of characters or alphabet present in the function. So numbers means integer, so that's why I have used %d, right? Let's check it out. So it demands the string from my side. So the length of the string is 6. Okay, let's check it out with one more example with a space. Okay, clear? So understand, in the last class, if you remember, I did the same job by writing 4 or 5 lines of code of string length count, or string the length of the string will be counted by writing 4 or 5 lines. And here I did the same job by using only 1 line. Clear? So that is the advantage of using string. Okay, so that's why character array is also there, but string has come and overcome the place of the character array, or you can say the replace the place of the character array. It will actually take the pride of the character array because of these system defined functions. Okay, so obviously it will reduce the size of your code as well as your effort and time of execution, right? So at the back end, that 5 lines of code has been defined into the string.h header file of the at the back end of the string length function. I think it is clear to everyone, right? So in such a way, we will do the other function. The next function is string copy. Okay, next function is string copy. So this code I have also shown in my last class, how to perform a copy of a string. And if you remember that I did at least 4 or 5 lines of code to do the copy. So here, instead of that, we will do the copy in such a way. So to copy one string into another string, we have to read the first string and we have to read another string, because this is the string whose value we have to give, and this is the string on which we have to copy the string. So here we don't need to read the value of the str2, because it should be a blank string where it will be copied, but we have to declare the string as str2 because we have to make a copy of it. Okay, and if we want to do a copy of the string, we'll simply do strcpy, string copy function, strcpy. Then the first one will be your old string, okay, which you want to copy. So str1, and the second one will be your new string or destination string on which you want to make a copy, right? So after copy, we want to check the value of the string. How we can check it? Let's give a puts. Don't need to write all this function. str2. We'll simply print str2 with the puts function. Okay, and we will check whether the string one, whatever value or whatever string, the string one, str1 will hold the similar value str2 has been hold or not. Because copy paste has been done after writing this code. Let's check it out. My name has been stored into str1. It gives some garbage value. strcpy. Acha, let change the position. I think I have done a mistake. So the first string will be your destination string, or on which you want to perform a copy, and the second string will be your source string. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. Okay. Yes. So I did a mistake of argument passing. Okay. So this is the string 2. I think it is clear to you. I think it is clear to you. Is it clear? Is it clear to you, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
str2 is. So you can understand the copy of the string clearly. Okay. So your new string str2 will contain the value of the old string which has been copied into a new string. So please remember this one. Okay, please remember this one. The first one will be your destination string, okay, or the new string, and the second argument after comma will be your source string. Okay, these are called arguments or parameters. Okay, in the next chapter we are going to learn function, and there your argument and parameter passing concept will be fully clear. Okay, so in such a way there are some other function like string concatenation. Second function is string cat, means concatenates two string. Concatenate is combining or joining two strings. I think I did already read that code. Okay, concatenation of two strings. So this is a concatenation string cat str1 str2. Okay, so suppose here I cannot do a concatenation because I have to perform the concatenation of the both the same name, because str1 if contains str1, Sanjay is contained within str1, then due to the string copy function str2 will contain the same Sanjay string. Okay, so after copy it will be look like Sanjay. Okay, this is a string concatenation. So one thing you should remember, you can perform all these functions. You can perform all these system-defined function with the help of coding without using system-defined function. So you have to learn both the techniques, using system-defined function without using system-defined function. Because in the examination you are learning C programming first time. So sometimes the examiner has asked the question that you will have to perform this function, okay, or this job without using string system defined function of string.h header file. They have mentioned explicitly in the question paper. Then you are bound to not to be use this system defined function. You cannot use this system defined function. Sometimes they have mentioned. So you have to do the same job by writing some codes which I have already shown in the last class. Calculating the length of a string, copying one string to another, character by character, using character array without using string system defined function. Okay, there is one more string system defined function is string compare, strcmp. String compare compares two strings. So we can compare two strings with the help of string cmp. Okay, how we can compare two strings? Very simple. With the help of if loop, we will do this comparison. strcmp. strcmp, within strcmp, we will pass two strings, str1 and str2. Okay, and we will check whether it returns 0 or not. Okay, if it will return 0, then we can simply printf that equal. Strings are equal, right? Strings are equal. Else we will simply print strings are not equal. Very simple. Not equal. Can we do this? This is a comparison whether the two strings are equal or not. So if we, instead of double equal to 0, if we put greater than 0, can anyone tell me what does it mean by greater than 0? That means the first string, if the first string is larger than the second string, then it will be greater than 0. If the first string is larger than the second string. Now, how we can compare the largerness of the two strings? Based on the alphabetical order. Yes. বলো।
স্যার আমি ভাবছিলাম লেন্থ দিয়ে ইয়ে করা হয়, সরি স্যার।
Larger. Okay, we will check it. We will check it. We will check it. Okay, first double equal to 0, then we will check the larger. Okay. So here again that should be equal because string 1 and string 2 are the copy. Oh, it will give not equal. Why it will give not equal? It should be given equal.
স্যার আপনি str concentration না কি একটা ছিল ওটা লাগিয়েছেন মনে হয়।
Oh, concatenation লাগিয়েছি না? Right. It has been changed. Okay. I will just make this as a command line. Okay. So I think now it will show the equal. Okay. It will show equal. Right. str1, str2 both are equal. Now we will check the greater than 0. For this, we have to read the str2 separately rather than str1, and we need to omit this operation. Okay. Let's check it out. First str1 sanjy, second str2, okay. So greater than 0, it will actually gives equal. So it will supports it. Okay, it actually supports it. That string 1 is greater than string 2. String 1 is greater than string 2. So number of characters, it is not showing in the form of number of characters. Okay, give me some time. I will have to check it. Okay, for which in which condition this greater than 0 is actually checking here. That I will need to check. Okay, right now I can't remember, because it is not showing in alphabetical orders. Even it is not showing in numbers. Okay, the length of the string it is not showing. So we'll have to check it. Okay, right now just remember that equal to 0 will be there if two strings are equal. Okay, and if the two strings are not equal, then it will give not equal to. That means else part will be executed. Okay. One more important function that I need to show you that is also used sometimes, strrev. strrev. What is the full form of this?
রিভার্সের জন্য ইউজ করা হয়।
Yes, for the reversal, string reversal. So right now তুমি দেখতে পাচ্ছ যে I have used this code to do a string reversal. So here I am using only strrev to do the string reversal. Okay, so I want to reverse the first string, suppose str1, and we will print it. I think it should be stored in some variable. Let me check it first. Yes, string reversal has been done. Okay, string reversal has been done. Is it clear? প্রত্যেকে বুঝতে পারলে? Is it clear to everyone? Okay, so you can understand what is the job of this system defined function and how it will reduce your time and effort, in how much extent it will reduce your time and effort to do this. Okay, so these are various kinds. Now apart from this, these are other kind of string system defined string functions. Please go through any book or in your internet, go through with the several functions, but mostly we are using this kind of function. This function strlwr for converts the string to lowercase. So whatever string you have given into uppercase as an argument of this function, that will be converted into lowercase. Okay, then strupr for the conversion of a string to uppercase. So in such a way, there are several kinds of functions that you can use to perform different kind of jobs. So in which application, which function will be used, that is totally depends on the choice of the developer or the programmer, right? This is all about string defined function. So whenever you will get a question in your exam, if the examiner has explicitly defined that don't use string system defined function, then you are not able to use any kind of string system defined function. And if they will not mention, he or she will not mention anything, then he can use it. Okay, next program that I want to show you, that I am performing string palindrome. I am performing string palindrome. This is a palindrome of a string. Very simple. All these things we have already learned. Okay, so first these two lines to read a first string gets a. Okay, so this is the actual string. Whether that string is palindrome or not, this program will check it. Okay, so this is the print of the actual string. Now we will calculate the length of the string. Okay, if you require to calculate, if you don't require it, here in a palindrome program, we don't require to calculate the length of a string. Okay, we don't require it. Now we will do this statement. Okay, why we will do this, that you will tell me. I am not going to tell you why I am doing this execution. You will tell me. Now in the next line, I have done a reversal of a string by using string reverse function of the similar string that we have taken as input a. Clear? Now the a contains your reversal. A contains your reversal. Can anyone tell me why I have done this code? this 3-line code?
Because sir, you copied in the B array section, so it will be easy to compare both between them, because you are comparing B and A arrays.
And it will also change the value in reverse.
Yes.
So if
Because
I wanted to take
It is
the
not
previous
easy.
value,
It is not easy. You have to do this. It is not an optional, right? It is mandatory. You have to do this. Otherwise, the value of the A string has been changed here. The value of
and
the
we
A
can
string
compare
has
it
been
if we
changed.
have no
Yes.
variable.
তোমাদের হয়তো মনে থেকে থাকবে, during the number palindrome program, I did one line, old number equal to new number, old equal to new number, old number equal to. So I have taken one temporary variable. If you remember, I had taken one temporary variable where I have stored the actual number before applying it into a palindrome process. That means before dividing the numbers into number of digits, that D modulo n10, this kind of operation, before doing that operation, I have stored the number into a temporary local variable. And at the end, where we are going to compare whether number is a palindrome or not, within the if-else statement, I actually compare the reverse number with that temporary number, where we have stored that number into a temporary variable. Here I have used the same thing. This thing I have done only for the temporary storage of A string into a B string. Okay, and I did by character. That's why I have run a for loop and did a character by character mapping. Okay, this is similar to copying between two strings, if you remember, character to character mapping. Now, here you can directly compare A and B. I think you can understand A contains your reversal of a string, and B contains your actual string. Okay, B contains your actual string because A value has been changed due to this reversal function here. So A does not contain the actual string. Okay, after this operation, A contains the reversal string and B contains the actual string, because before A will apply for the reversal, we have assigned that A variable or A string into a temporary new string, that is B. So now B contains the original or actual string, whereas A contains the reversal string. And we will simply compare these two, A and B. And if the comparison will return a 0, that means these two strings are equal. Equal means it returns always palindrome. If the two strings are not equal, then it will return always not palindrome. Let's run this code. Suppose first I'm checking the palindrome, madam. Okay, so the reverse string is also madam, and it is a palindrome. Here, now I will check not palindrome. Suppose my name is not palindrome. So this is the reverse, and obviously it is not palindrome. Clear? Is it clear to everyone? প্রত্যেকে বুঝতে পারলে? The program, is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Anyone has any doubt, you can ask me. If anyone has any kind of doubt, you can ask me. Now the next program that I want to show, that is a vowels and consonant counts. How we can count the number of vowels present into a given string, and what are the number of components into a given string. Yes.
Sir, in concatenation, after it added two value, then it will store two value in some array, or just it is used to print the value. Means after adding two values, it will store together in array, or else I have to
With
create
string concatenation function,
another...
string concatenation,
Yes, sir.
When you will concatenate as two string, it will store the results, the concatenation result or joining results, into a third array. Into a third array.
I have to create it,
yes.
so
You
it
can
will create
No, when you are printing directly that string concatenation, that I already did, the printing directly at string concatenation. So at the output end, the compiler will create a temporary third array for you, and it will print the result. But if you are going to store the string concatenation first into a third array, suppose you are going to do like this one. So you will have to store it into another string, str3. Okay, and you will have to write it here in this way, str3. Declare the string, store it here, and then you will print it here. That is true for all the cases. সব ক্ষেত্রে কিন্তু একই ব্যাপার। Whenever you directly print this value, in all the cases, it is true. Run this code.
Okay, so okay. I'm just yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm taking as a variable, a normal variable.
Variable, yeah.
In